Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Fall Guys. In this episode, I went back to my roots. I became a noob, a new player at Fall Guys. So after the last episode, where we realised that the matchmaking was just making the game very difficult, I decided to absolutely tank my rating and see what it's like to be a new player again. Although obviously I am not new. I am very much experienced at this game now, with 2 years and 5 months of playing it. I pre-ordered it, I played it from the first day it came out, I think. One of the first days anyway. Way at the beginning. So this is what happens if you tank your rating. There's a few ways you can do it. I won't be saying all of them, or everyone will do it. But one of the ways you can do it is just by failing to qualify the first round over and over again. Like 10 times. And then you'll just be in an easier lobby if you started at the top. I think I started somewhere near the top. Who knows? There's no real way to tell. It's a kind of a grey area what any of the stuff means in the matchmaking and how to change your rating. But there we go. I did pretty badly there as well, didn't I? After a wonderful first start in the beginning level, we just got whacked by an obstacle in this one. That would be quite embarrassing if I don't do well here, wouldn't it? Of course. After completely tanking my rating, I really don't want to be messing up. But there's still beans ahead of me. Of course, there is always the likelihood that other people could be doing this exact same thing. I know people have definitely been mentioning it, so it's totally plausible. And it's not a first place on the second round here. What a terrible shame. But it's okay. And I'm dressed in the new player's uniform. We've got the safety helmet, we've got the blue and red pattern from last season, and the kind of half and half thing as well going on. Now, believe it or not, I was quite awful at this game for a while when I first started playing it. The first day I played it, I played on keyboard and mouse. Because I play on my computer, right, on my laptop, and I played all games like that. I didn't even own a controller, you know, apart from a few consoles I had. Ah, here we go, the next round is Stomping Ground, which is my absolute least favourite level, but this variation with the hex tiles is much, much nicer. It's great. So as I was saying, I didn't actually own a controller that I could use with my computer. Well, that's not technically correct. I did actually have a PlayStation 2, PS2 controller, and a USB adapter for it. Funnily enough, that does not work for Fall Guys. There is software you could probably get to make that work, but I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna buy an Xbox 360 controller and have a go at that and see if it's better, because I was doing pretty bad at this game with the keyboard and mouse the first day I played it. So a few days later in the post, I get my Xbox controller and I decide to give it a shot. I'm still pretty bad, but I'm better. Definitely better at the game. And things are going okay here in this game. There's only a few seconds left, and I'm still living. I see some other beans. I've got a few more tiles, and just like that we've qualified. But wait a second. We didn't just qualify. I actually won. I won in Stomping Ground, my least favourite level. My goodness. And as you can see, I changed my little nameplate to be the default, the rookie beginner one. And I realised I should have probably changed my victory dance thing as well. That Jack in the Box one is the final level of the original Season 1, but I think you can now buy it with the show box. So we go into the next round. I've changed my winner's dance, if we can get a win, of course, and it puts us straight into DoorDash. Another level I'm not a massive fan of. There's lots of little tricks you can use to be safer in this level, be better at qualifying, but no matter what you do in this one, you can still get messed up quite a lot. I mainly try and jump on other people's heads, otherwise you'll get body blocked to oblivion. So it's best to know like when to jump and when to dive. Also, you don't actually have to dive on that fan if you don't go too high, but I got just a little bit too high. If you go to the edge of the fan there, you can often do a bit better. Okay, the next round here, we've got Tundra Run. It's the new variation with all the hex tiles on the left, and because I spawned on the left side, it's actually worth taking these, because they are fairly quick. If you do go up the main route, because you get a different spawn, you can actually take one of these jet things, and it'll launch you over the first wall, which is a nice little skip as well. Don't dive here. Unless you get really lucky, you will dive straight into the void just over where I am at the moment. So it's safer to go a little bit slower, and then a little bit quicker. Obviously keep an eye on these moving floors, and then just go in a straight line over these tiles. There's no need to wiggle about too much. I did a little bit there, but you really don't need to. Next we get a quite horrific variation of Fruit Shoot. At least it looks that way. It looks very hard. But if you think of it as just the same old Fruit Shoot as normal, you don't want to go in the middle. The only difference really is that you don't have hammers at the start, and you have to wait for this end bit to actually respawn if it gets hit recently. But we're through. Thankfully. Next round we get a little bit of a jump club. Nothing really happens. I stay alive. And then we get Hyperdrive Heroes. So there's already not that many players left in this lobby. And obviously, as I go through this, it's going to be putting me back up in rating again. So after that first win, these are some slightly better players, but still I'm thinking maybe I can actually win in this level, after winning in Stomping Ground. So I take 2 beans out instantly, and I try and take out our last guy here. Did he go? Oh, no he didn't. They lived. Barely. The fact they got launched onto the hex tiles there is crazy. But I qualify. Do they? They do. Which means we're whittling down the players from 11 to 2. It's a 1v1 situation. A crazy scenario. And at this point I massively respect the fact that they managed to survive that. And I decide that I'm going to do nothing to interfere with them. No grabbing, no anything. I jump over to see how they're doing. They're doing pretty fine. This is a little ways on in the final. I've done absolutely nothing to them. But unfortunately there, they just jump way off and land in the slime. Sorry, buddy. I really didn't try and mess you up there. But if you do watch this video, I will happily play some duos with you to get a few wins together. How's that for a fair deal? We get Tundra Run again in the next round, and I mess up quite badly in this one. It's just going awful. I might have got put up a little bit in the matchmaking again, but yeah, that's just an embarrassing finish there. Kind of a bottom 50%. So I want to prove myself in big fans this next round. We're still dressed up like a noob. We've got that little UFO thing that you unlock very early in the current season pass. But I want to prove myself and get a nice first place in Big Fans. Big Fans, an absolute classic level. Much easier this season with this current variation with all the hex tiles everywhere. And without a lot of the extra bars, you can pretty much just run the whole way. And I thought I was doing super well, but there's another bean right behind me. Terrifying, I know. Which means I think I've definitely been put back up a tier, which is why this is going to be the last round of this video, because after this I definitely got put back to where I belong. Ouch. Next we had Short Circuit here. A brilliant race. A brilliant race round. Sorry, it's been a long day at work. I'm just doing the commentary for this after that. And there's a little bit of video trickery there, so that we turn 2 laps into 1. So all we need to worry about is this final lap to see what position I'll come this round. It's looking good, but I swear there's a bean in front of me, right? Do you see that guy? Are there 2? Or am I lapping someone? I've got no idea. Luckily, I managed to not get flipped over and take a first place, but that other guy actually was in front of me and really narrowly takes second. So we get Fruit Shoot again here. I decide to risk it all and actually just go straight up the hex tiles when there's no fruit on them. Dangerous. But it means it is possible to do this version faster, possibly, than even the old one with a hammer hit. I'm not sure, but I feel like that could possibly be quicker. Although if you get a really good hammer hit, sometimes it can launch you pretty much to the end. So there we get a jump club where not really anything happens, which takes us down to 7 players for the final of the episode, which is going to be a classic hexagon. Remember these? I'm so glad they added the all the other finals back to the game. Now, not much happens at the beginning here. As you all probably know, the second half of hexagon is the most important bit. You can save yourself loads of room, but it doesn't mean anything if you manage to land in a good or bad area at the end. It can all change your fortunes at a moment's notice. Now, jump diving is obviously key to preserve, but it also lets you have a little look around before you actually fall to see where looks like a good opportunity. So I decided to go right here, try and cut off this white beam, but sadly I was too close to them, so I backtrack and go the other way. Decide to try and block off this guy, so we end up in the middle of the map. I cut off both the other two, thinking they'll probably both run out each other's tiles, so now I can just have these spaced out ones all to myself, and that's all it takes. Simple as that. So that's what happens when you mess up your rating a bit by purposefully losing a bunch, but it does pretty quickly put you back in the better lobbies again. But I hope you enjoyed that little foray into Noobsville. Thanks so much for watching. There should be some duos videos coming soon. Like this video if you did like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. You're a legend if you already have, of course. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy. Goodbye.